Hi, I'm Amanda Carlson. Welcome to the Dougy Center Reflection Benefit.
And I'm Vanessa Valencia. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm a current board member. My mom passed away when I was 4 years old, and I understand how critical the Dougy Center services are to our community.
And I'm a past participant with my daughter Hazel, and now I'm a current volunteer, so I've been able to see from both sides the value of the Dougy Center for grieving families.
Tonight, we ask you to enjoy your evening and raise your paddles and participate as much as you can.
Thank you so much for your support. Have fun and give to this amazing cause.
Thank you.
My name is Jess Hara. KinderCare Learning Companies is so proud to be the sponsor of this year's event. At KinderCare, we strive to foster a sense of belonging for the children in our programs each and every day. It's why we so value our partnership with the Dougy Center. The amazing team of staff and volunteers create a place of belonging and community for children and families when they need it most. I look forward to a great evening and the opportunity for all of us to help support the amazing work of the Dougy Center. Thanks for being here, and thank you for your commitment to the Dougy Center.
I want to thank the sponsors that made tonight possible. Your support can make a huge difference for kids like me.
A huge thank you to KinderCare Learning Companies. Thank you On Point Community Credit Union.
Thank you Hannah Associates Inc.
Thank you Pacific Power. Thank you Porsche Beaverton.
Thank you Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Thank you Fox 12 Oregon.
Thank you benefactor sponsors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Dougy Center's Reflection, Benefit, and Auction. I'm Jonna Wells, and I am absolutely thrilled to serve as ambassador for Reflection to celebrate joy, hope, and healing for children and families who are grieving. It's wonderful to welcome our friends who can't be with us at the Portland Art Museum tonight. We're so grateful to have you here with us. I'd like to acknowledge Dougy Center's multiple locations are located on the traditional village sites and unceded lands of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Bands of Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, and Molalla peoples, among many other tribes who seasonally made the Columbia River region their home. Loss and grief have engulfed the lands in the United States and in other countries as well. Power and domination have wiped out people, customs, traditions, and rights. And if we want to become grief-informed, we need to work toward healing and reconciliation for the plethora of injustices which have occurred in these lands. Dougy Center recognizes that colonization of this land is ongoing, and that intergenerational grief and historical trauma reverberate in the lives of Indigenous communities. Because of this, Dougy Center strives to provide relevant support and care when called upon by these communities. At Dougy Center, we acknowledge not just the land that we're on, but also the work that must be done to rectify this harm and support the work of local, national, and international Indigenous organizations and communities to heal. These organizations include Native Wellness Institute, NEA, and Wisdom of the Elders, among many others. Dougy Center's world-renowned model utilizes peer-to-peer support groups for children and families who are grieving. All Dougy Center programs offer support to families at no cost. Groups meet every other week and are led by master's-level group coordinators and supported by volunteer group facilitators. The Dougy Center model has inspired over 500 programs throughout the world and is considered a gold standard of practice in the field of loss and grief. Tonight's Reflection, Benefit, and Auction is about supporting the critical work of Dougy Center. We will share personal stories from Dougy Center participants so we may understand more deeply why the work of Dougy Center is so important to the community, our region, and our world. And I invite you to celebrate Dougy Center and take part in the many opportunities available to showcase your support. If you'd like to participate in all of tonight's exciting opportunities to support Dougy Center, then go online to dougy.org. That's dougy.org. From there, you can participate in the online auction, which is filled with some fantastic getaways, art, wine, some themed baskets, and really exciting experiences. And that online auction is going to remain open until 7 p.m. tonight. And at around 8:30 p.m. tonight, we're going to announce the winner of the 26th annual Porsche Boxster raffle. With only 2,500 tickets available, this year's ticket holders are eager to hear who wins. Did you know that the annual Porsche Boxster raffle has raised more than $2.4 million for families who are grieving in its 26 years? It's absolutely tremendous. So tune in at 8:30 on Dougy Center's Facebook page to see if you are the lucky winner. Tonight, we'll celebrate bringing a light of hope to families facing their darkest moments. Tonight, we join together to raise vital funds for Dougy Center, the National Grief Center for Children and Families. And we have exciting news to share with you tonight. You can make a donation right now and have that donation matched by Dougy Center's Board of Directors up to $20,000. Simply text the word reflection to the number 76278 and make your donation, or visit us at dougy.org, where we are streaming this program, and make your gift. And now, let's learn a little bit more about Dougy Center and its impact and hear from Executive Director Brennan Wood.
Why won't anyone talk with me about dying? That was the question asked by 13-year-old Dougy Turnow in a letter he wrote while receiving treatment for a brain tumor.
Even though death is the one thing we know will happen to all of us, we still find it really challenging to talk about.
Dougy's desire to break the taboo around death and dying inspired Bev Chappell, a nurse, to take action.
His inspiration of talking with other children who were also terminally ill really inspired her to reach out to children and teens and families who were coping with the death of a family member.
Now celebrating 4 decades of hope and healing, Dougy Center offers unique programs to children as young as 3, up through young adults and their families who are grieving before or after a death. And we do so at no cost to those who utilize our services.
We're very opposed to looking at grief as any kind of mental illness or mental disorder, but rather as a natural response to loving someone and caring about someone. We recognize that every person's experience is unique.
Using the Dougy Center model and knowledge we have gained over more than 40 years of service, we educate people around the globe how to support children and families who are grieving. Our work spread first across the United States and Canada, and then around the world. And just last year, Dougy Center trained more than 10,000 people from organizations worldwide.
Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Rwanda, Italy, Germany. The model has been taken and replicated. Through all of that work that originated in Portland, Oregon, we found the commonality that we have a shared experience when we grieve.
That shared experience and Dougy Center's response to it are codified in 10 core principles of being grief-informed. This philosophy informs everything that we do and has inspired us to expand our programs to reach those who need us most. From the Pathways program for families facing a loved one's advanced serious illness, to Esperanza, the dedicated Spanish language grief support program, and Light, a new national training program supporting youth in the foster care system. Today, Dougy Center is known throughout the world as a leader in the field of childhood bereavement. What we offer is invaluable because it's time that we as a nation acknowledge grief for what it truly is, a natural and normal response to loss. Grief and all the many complications it imposes on the griever is an experience that needs and deserves understanding, support, and community. As we enter our 5th decade of service, one thing is certain about the grieving process.
We basically grieve as deeply as we love.
Hi
Hi there, I'm Brennan Wood, Executive Director of Dougy Center, the National Grief Center for Children and Families. I want to welcome you to Reflection 2023, our annual benefit and auction. We are so proud to be able to offer this virtual opportunity for you to learn about our work over the past year and to celebrate with us by joining our efforts to support children and families who are grieving. Last year, Dougy Center provided in-person and virtual grief support groups to more than 2,600 children, teens, young adults, and their family members at our 3 locations in the Portland metro area. And in the past 3 years, we have answered more than 55,000 calls for support, resources, referrals, and community response after a death. Last year, we also trained more than 10,000 individuals across the nation and the world who are seeking our expertise so that they can better serve children who are grieving in their communities, as you may have seen in our previous video. And our return to pre-pandemic levels of direct service could not have come soon enough. Even as many of us are enjoying a return, hopefully, to normalcy in our work and social lives, the challenges and difficulties are very real for the estimated 300,000 children in the United States whose parent or primary caregiver died of COVID-19. As a leader in the childhood bereavement field for 4 decades and the first center of our kind in the nation, Dougy Center is responding to the needs of these newly bereaved children, their families, and those who wish to support them. This year, in partnership with the Brave of Heart Fund, we have published our After a Death from COVID-19 online toolkit, which you can find at dougy.org. It features 40 new free resources available in English and Spanish. If you or someone you know is grieving the death of a loved one from COVID-19, please take the time to access these resources and share them far and wide. You can help ensure that no child grieves alone. Dougy Center provides all of our services and resources at no cost to families. Dougy Center relies on the generosity of this community to come together to support children and families who are grieving. Your gift tonight directly impacts thousands of families in the Portland area and ripples out to the rest of the country and the world as Dougy Center leads the global movement urging all of us to understand grief. As many of you may know, I attended Dougy Center as a child after my mom Doris's death, and I brought my adopted daughter Jordan to Dougy Center groups after the death of both of her biological parents. I can tell you that Dougy Center truly saved my life, and it has been such a heartfelt and emotional honor to witness the positive impact Dougy Center has had on my daughter's life as well. And I am just one of so many. I am grateful that you are watching from home tonight, and I thank you, both personally and professionally, for your tremendous support of our work. Have a great night.
Thank you, Brennan, for sharing your story with us tonight and for your leadership at Dougy Center. Friends, tonight you can make a difference for so many children facing the darkest times in their young lives. You can help them understand that grieving is a normal and natural response to loss. Will you answer this call? Longtime Dougy Center supporters Linda and Reg Eklund want to inspire you to give generously tonight. Linda volunteered for Dougy Center for nearly 30 years, and the Eklunds have made donations to Dougy Center every single year since 1993. Tremendous generosity. Linda and Reg, we are so grateful for you. The Eklunds have offered up a $30,000 matching challenge today. Your gift of any size will be matched dollar for dollar, doubling the impact that you will have in the lives of grieving families. Thank you again, Linda and Reg, for your tremendous generosity. And friends, for all gifts presented of $1,500 or less, the Dougy Center Board of Directors has pulled together a tremendously generous matching challenge of $20,000. Gifts of $1,500 support one child receiving grief support at Dougy Center for 1 year. Most families attend for about a year, so your gift of $1,500, along with our matching challenge, will actually support 2 children who are grieving and their family members for a full year of Dougy Center services. So we invite you to join these generous donors by making a donation right here and now. Simply text the word reflection to the number 76278 to donate, or go to dougy.org where we're streaming this event and make your gift known. Let's take a moment to listen to a story that illustrates the lifelong impact of Dougy Center's grief support program.
Bram and his brother Liam have been attending the Dougy Center since 2001, when their father died unexpectedly on Thanksgiving Day. A lot of really great things happen here, but I won't spoil it for you. We'll have Bram tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Bram. Welcome to the Dougy Center. Come on, I'll show you around.
Watching myself at that age, being able to just willingly give a tour the way that I had done, I was proud of myself. Like, I'm looking at that video and I was like excited.
Here we have the talking room. This is where all of us gather before we start our session, and we just talk about...
We lucked out with the fact that the Dougy Center was in Portland. We had just moved to Oregon. We were living in the Bay Area. When my dad died, it was literally just me and my mom and my brother. So my mom went to the hospital with the paramedics. I mean, we had food in the oven. We had everything prepared. She came back and she sat me and my brother down on the couch and was like, "So I need to tell you that your father's in a better place now." I felt abandoned. I mean, he was everything to me. I thought I was gonna be my dad when I was that age. I was going through something that none of my classmates at school, none of my friends understood. But like, at the Dougy Center, being around other people, other kids who were like me, my same age, it really helped me to come to terms with what had happened, acknowledge it, and be able to talk about it in a way that I don't think that I would have been able to. Having Dougy Center to kind of guide me through that time really truly changed the course of my life. And in thinking about it, I personally just thought that it only ever made sense for me to kind of give back. I'm gonna light this candle for my dad and my uncle. It is really inspiring to see how these kids can kind of come to terms with what has happened. And also, it's really sweet to see them just have fun and be able to kind of escape the reality of, you know, losing someone that means a lot to you. One of my favorite parts about working with the kids that I work with is getting to witness like their creativity and seeing how they can express maybe emotions that they didn't know that they were really feeling until they get into that moment. Because these kids that we work with as volunteers, they are the same age that, you know, a lot of us were when we lost our person.
And here in the game room, we have foosball, trampoline, and we have a box of instruments.
I don't think that my family would have been able to send my brother and I to the Dougy Center had there been a cost or a price. I mean, one of the best parts about the Dougy Center is actually the fact that it is free to all families and children that need to attend. This is people giving their time and energy to a cause that matters to them. We rely on the people around us who recognize the positive work that we do in the community. The reason why the Dougy Center is important to have in a community like ours is because these things happen. People die, and kids are affected. Helping these families overcome the challenges that they're facing will only ever help these young kids in the future become productive, healthy, happy members of society. And honestly, had I not had the Dougy Center, my life might have taken a different turn.
Thank you, Bram, for sharing your story with us tonight. Friends, as you saw, Dougy Center had an incredible impact on Bram's life, and now he's giving back to other kids who are grieving as a Dougy Center support group facilitator. His story illustrates the lasting impact that having Dougy Center support as a child can bring to a person. We know that generous gifts are coming in online right now, and we encourage you at home to take advantage of our matching challenge opportunities from Linda and Reg Eklund and the Dougy Center Board of Directors. Again, gifts of any size are being matched right here and now. Simply go to dougy.org to present your gift at any amount, or you can text the word reflection to the number 76278 to make your gift. These donations provide vital grief support and resources to children and families in our community across the nation and around the world. So thank you, one and all, for the tremendous support that you're showcasing tonight. Grief can feel different for everyone. Dougy Center allows children and their families to express themselves no matter what their grief feels like. Let's listen to what grief feels like for Dougy Center participants.
Someone I love died. I've been crying, like, a lot. One day I'm playing basketball, and the next day, it's like everything is different. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But to me, grief just feels like an empty hug.
Sometimes I just don't feel like anyone gets it. Everyone says it's totally normal to have all kinds of thoughts and stuff. To me, grief feels like I'm going to be sad forever. I wonder if anyone else feels this way?
To me, grief feels like my heart hurts.
Like living the worst day, every day.
Like a Harry Potter Dementor.
Like a tornado came and shook up my entire world.
Like eating pizza. I hate pizza, yuck!
Grief feels like a punch in the gut every time I think about it.
Like butterflies in my stomach.
Grief feels like anger.
A bomb about to go off.
Like it's my fault.
Like when you drop your popsicle on the sidewalk.
Sadness and loneliness because I will never have a mother.
A heavy bowling ball in my heart.
A rotten apple.
Sad but angry at myself for not doing anything before he died.
Grief feels like nobody understands.
Like something blocking out the sun.
Grieving can feel different for everyone, but you can go somewhere and be with other kids your age who are grieving too. Places like the Dougy Center offer safe and comfortable spaces to play, talk, and express yourself, no matter what your grief feels like.
Even if it feels like I'm a potato getting smashed under a foot?
Yes, of course, even then. Find resources, support, and our national program finder at www.dougy.org.
Thank you, Dougy Center kids and teens, for sharing what grief feels like to you. When someone dies, it can feel like you're alone in your grief. At Dougy Center, you will find support, resources, and connection before and after a death. And these resources are made possible by donors like each and every one of you. So again, I invite you to continue to give generously at a level of giving that is meaningful to you and inspires that support tonight. Simply text the word reflection to the number 76278 or visit us at dougy.org and make your donation today. Again, your gifts are being matched dollar for dollar tonight. Remember that the auction remains open until 7 p.m. this evening, so keep those bids coming. We've got some incredible packages to place your bids on tonight. And again, at 8:30 p.m., join us on Dougy Center's Facebook page for our live drawing of the 26th annual Porsche Boxster raffle. To everyone who made this year's Reflection benefit possible, our presenting sponsor, KinderCare Learning Companies, Linda and Reg Eklund, happy anniversary to you both, by the way, Dougy Center's Board of Directors, our guests, Dougy Center participants, volunteers, staff, to our friends at Fox 12 Oregon and McGorn Video Media, and so many others. Thank you for championing the work of Dougy Center. As we close tonight, we'd like to share a few more stories of how Dougy Center has changed the lives of families and communities in Portland and around the world. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you for supporting children and families who are grieving.
Well, both Jan and my family are farmers, or grew up in the farming community. Our son was up at my family's.
My brother had been working on the ranch for harvest. He was driving a wheat truck, and my mom and I were driving home back to Portland, where we got a call that he had been in an accident.
Some way he killed the engine, accidentally, I'm sure. He must have yanked it around one corner, but it went straight into a bank.
We didn't get to say goodbye. He didn't even make it out of the field.
We actually had a friend, one of my classmates had passed away just a month before my brother did, and they had started coming to the Dougy Center, and they introduced us, and we came with them for the first time. You learn that you're not alone, you learn that you can talk about it, you learn that it gets better, it gets easier, and that was a great thing to learn, because when someone dies, you just feel like it's the worst possible thing that has ever happened in the world, and you are never, ever, ever going to get over it.
For us, it was nice to come in and sit with other people and knowing that they understood because they are suffering through the same things we are.
These people know, they care, they understand. They're there for you, unconditionally.
It's hard to describe really how inspirational seeing people come in so much pain and leave feeling understood.
Well, sometimes we do some art projects that we contribute for the auctions. There's a volcano room, there's a game room. We always like to go in there and play a little foosball or punch around with the big boxing gloves if we have a chance. They've taught me how to speak, because I can now speak about my brother. If I can speak about my brother, if I can speak about death, I can speak about any other topic in the world.
Society kind of puts grief in a closet. It's a subject that's not talked about.
Whether it's counseling that is paid for through your insurance, they look at it as a year or 6 visits. Grief doesn't end with 6 visits or 1 year. It goes on.
You can't rush grief. It's a process that takes the time it takes. I hope that the community continues to understand the importance of the services that the Dougy Center offers, and that they give generously and continue to volunteer time and resources to help us serve even more families.
I always think of the Dougy Center as a warm blanket that's put around your shoulders. When you walk in these doors, as my daughter says, it's like coming home.
My daughter has said a few times that they would hear us laughing. She says, "What is so funny?" But it was just that we could all feel comfortable, relax. We're laughing at something, but we still understand what everybody's going through, but we can still laugh.
And so what I've learned is it's all about the heart. It's all about what you put into other people. You're still breathing, you're still alive for a reason, and that's what's really important.
My dad and I have really different ways of grieving. So after my mom died, I kind of just like shut off and I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything with anybody.
For me, it was very emotional actually, just to see the center, to see the rooms. Very powerful for me to see the facility here and the amazing building and the kinds of experiences that were available.
We're the first program of its kind in the country and perhaps the world. People don't realize that it changes your life forever. A week, a month, when the tuna casseroles stop coming, is when it really starts hitting.
I guess I like this from my mom.
Every kid in my group was so welcoming and open to me, and literally after like the first 15 minutes, I was so sold and I like wanted to come back every week, and I was really excited about it actually. It was just really amazing for me. I kind of found this community of people who understood me.
Grieving's very individual. Coming to Dougy enabled, well, it fed a need that I had personally as well of being able to talk to a community.
Our groups are an hour and a half long every other week. We have different play areas. Our teen groups tend to sit and talk, but they also have opportunities to do art or other activities. And the parent groups tend to sit and talk with each other. We talk about what we miss, what we don't miss, what we'll never hear again, what we'll never see again. Lifelong processes.
I would probably go take my mom skiing because, sorry. I have a lot of really good memories skiing with my mom.
It would have been a much slower, lonelier healing process without a place like the Dougy Center.
At the end of every single session, we have a little candle lighting ceremony. You can light 1 or 2 or however many you would like.
I light a candle for my dad and my sister. I light this candle in honor of my mom.
I light this candle in honor of all those who are here to support the Dougy Center and for my children.
I light this candle in honor of my dad being in the war.
This is for my mom, who passed of cancer.
We have never charged a fee to our families. The Dougy Center is supported entirely through contributions from the community. We're serving more families than ever before. The best way that people can support the Dougy Center is to donate. To donate time, to donate money, and to help us be able to serve more families.